everybody. My name's Brian Best, here with Adam Gayton and Amsel Kerman. I
Hello.
can't say your last name.
Amsel Cameron, come on, man.
I'm a terrible person, I'm sorry. Anyways, we're here to talk about video game news and views and all that kind of stuff to go on. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 2, the new trailer that was released. The Elder Scrolls Online with their the new multiplayer that's coming out very soon, apparently. The Xbox apparently is coming out with a new service plan. It's going to be real cheap to buy, but you got to buy into a 2-month contract with Rogers or another service provider. And then the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and our views on that. So anyways, we'll get started off with the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 trailer. So if you haven't seen this is basically the next installation of the Black Ops series. It's being developed by Treyarch.
Black Ops series.
Yes, Black Ops, which is developed by Treyarch, not Infinity Ward. And if you've seen the trailer now, it basically, in my opinion, it looks like the Battlefield 2142 trailer, which came out quite a few years ago. I think about 7 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Anyways, it starts off with a dude that's, I think he's from the first game. I'm not too sure because I really didn't play too much of the first game. And then talking about how all this has happened before, and he's not surprised by all this. And then it goes off into this big montage of stuff blowing up. There's a big futuristic building with a futuristic plane and futuristic stuff. It's basically set in the future. They're cramming the future down your throat hole. So, anyways, what do you guys think about this?
Well, in the first little while, to be honest with you, the Call of Duty games have been slacking in my eyes. They really have, and this is the game that I'm actually starting to get a little excited about. It's interesting to see that they're trying to take out different they're trying to take different methods to the first-person shooter genre. Like you have your typical World War, and since Modern Warfare came out, it was all about the present day, like Operation Desert Storm, Homefront, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see that they're trying to go into the future a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty excited about that aspect of it because I personally don't think it's been done that well. Nothing's given it that justice, and I think Call of Duty may be the one to get it up to speed.
Okay.
And I think it's also interesting that they are trying to take a risk that they haven't done yet. I mean, I said a while back that eventually, they're going to run out of history and they can only make so much in the present, so they're going to have to go somewhere into the future. I mean, technically this isn't going too far. It's only going to go to 2025, and they're apparently going to be going into the 80s with Alex Mason again during the Cold War, just to kind of go between him and his son, which is apparently going to be the guy during 2025. But I mean, the fact that they are taking a risk, they're going to try something brand new. We have no idea what we're going to run into in the weapons. I mean, we saw certain pieces from the trailer, but I mean, all things considered, you have no idea what you're going to walk into, and I think that's what makes it really exciting.
Yeah. It does look like an exciting game. It looks interesting, but I don't know. In my mind, historically anyways, Treyarch has always made not a vastly inferior product to Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare series, but it's never really up to the same standard. Do you guys think that this is going to be more of a better game than whatever Infinity Ward brings out next in the Call of Duty franchise, or do you think this is actually going to be the lead product for Call of Duty from now on?
Well, I think it's really hard to think that you're going to be able to ever top Modern Warfare. I mean, when you think of any Call of Duty game that really seems to get people's attention more, it's always been Modern Warfare. I mean, Black Ops, to its credit, was a great game. And I mean, Treyarch's always done more experimental options. I mean, we saw a whole lot of difference between Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 when those two games came out. So, I mean, it's always nice when you get a chance to see what Treyarch puts out, because they're always completely on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to Call of Duty games. But I think in terms of how the fans seem to react, it's always going to probably be Modern Warfare on the top, which leads me to think that, once this game comes out next year, we're just going to see Modern Warfare 4. I don't think there's any reason not to think that.
Yeah, true. We were talking earlier about how this hasn't really been done before, but when we think back to the Battlefield franchise, that they went from 1942, which was World War II, obviously, then Battlefield 2, which was set in modern era, and then they jumped to the future with 2142, but then we saw them jump back with basically the Bad Company series, and now Battlefield 3. So do you guys think that maybe Call of Duty will just follow that kind of franchise? The future doesn't have enough to hold people invested into it?
I don't know. It's different. To be honest with you, I think this is more of Activision trying to play it a little smart because I think they've been listening to the general reaction that's been going on to the Call of Duty series, which especially specifically with Modern Warfare 3, was that Call of Duty games are all copy and paste. They're all the same. If you played one, you played all. I think Black Ops is it's different, especially with Black Ops 2 coming along, is that it's going to be different than what they've done before. So to be honest with you, I don't think they're trying to do present day, future, this. I think they're just trying to put their eggs in different baskets now. They're trying to diversify their Call of Duty series, especially with Black Ops 2. I remember reading a little article on IGN saying how there's going to be, instead of like their missions on the site is going to play out kind of like a real-time strategy world map. So I think they're trying to diversify their things, and we'll probably see more of that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's also going to be interesting that they're trying a bunch of new things. I mean, this is one of the first games you're going to see a brand new villain. I mean, the rumor is that it's going to be China as the big guys in the 2025 era. And I mean, the fact that they're also commenting that it's going to have different branching endings, which is something completely new to even first-person shooters in general. Like,
absolutely,
it's beautiful to hear that Call of Duty is really trying to break away from all this copy-pasting, duplications of everything, and really trying things that not even first-person shooters in general are even going after at this point.
Indeed. Well, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 will be released on November 13th, 2012. Final question for you guys on this subject. If Battlefield decides to go this route into the future, which one do you think will be better, Call of Duty or the Battlefield franchise?
Battlefield. I'll say Battlefield. The reason why I say that is because they've done that with Battlefield 2042. Mm-hmm. So they kind of sort of know already what they're doing. Whereas Black Ops 2 is just a, roll up a die. Basically, it's just like how Call of Duty did with their Modern Warfare series, where all the games beforehand were all World War II, and then they took a gamble with Modern Warfare. Worked out in their advantage, those are huge franchises now. Absolutely. But I think Battlefield series has already done it. They have the upper hand here if they try to go into the future again.
Adam?
Okay, well, I'll make this pretty simple. In terms of overall, it probably will be Battlefield, but the part that's going to mean most to everybody is in the sales, and it will be Call of Duty. There's no doubt about that. So either way,
sales.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of which is going to be better, I mean, that's pretty much the spectrum. In terms of the game itself, I would assume Battlefield. They've always been better on the graphics edge, on the storytelling edge, on the gameplay edge. But when you think down to it, you're going to ask anybody else that doesn't really have any affiliations to anything, it'll be Call of Duty biased without any question.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you. In sales numbers, Call of Duty will mop the floor unless Battlefield does something that's going to be really different and get people really excited.
But the big question is, do you think will they break Modern Warfare 3's records? Because they've already broken their first day pre-order.
That's a good question. In terms of first day pre-orders, do you think that they're going to make?
Oh, they've already done it. It's more now. We just got to see if they're actually going to break the sales record again for I think the fourth or fifth straight game now.
They probably will. The more games that come out, the more people they convert. The more people they convert will be, more sales. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what goes on with the launch of Black Ops 2. But I think it's just going to sell extremely well. And might not be the best of games, in my opinion. I'm a really big Battlefield fan. I love Battlefield 3 right now, and I've historically loved each of the games just because of that whole open world aspect of basically being able to go everywhere, do everything, and fly planes, boats, and automobiles. But Call of Duty seems to be adding that too with Black Ops now.
Hopefully, it'll be interesting to see.
True. Anyways, moving on to Elder Scrolls Online. It's confirmed by Game Informer that the June cover of their magazine will be featuring an entire spread of the Elder Scrolls Online. This game is going to be taking up the entire land of Tamriel, everything from Skyrim to basically Cyrodiil, and the whole island. Anyways, and it's going to be an MMO based on the games. Now, I think I've seen a few mock-ups of different things, what people think it's going to look like. What do you guys think of the Elder Scrolls series, first off? Like, have you played Oblivion? Have you played Morrowind or any of the other Elder Scrolls games?
I'm going to come out and right and say it. To be honest with you, I have trouble getting into RPGs. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the grinding aspect of it. I don't know. I always get, I have a hard time breaking into it. For example, I tried Oblivion. Started off cool, but after a while, I don't know, maybe I lost focus. And yeah, so, I mean, I haven't even tried Skyrim. I want to get there eventually. But the idea of having it online, I think is fantastic, because Skyrim looks like an amazing game. But the only issue I had with that was like you have this vast open world, but there's nobody you can really share it with. So if it ventures out into the MMO aspect of it, I think that's exactly what the Elder Scrolls series is all about. Having this big open world, going around doing whatever you want with other people.
And I think that was the problem with the Elder Scrolls initially, because I'm the same with you. I played Morrowind for a while, and I played Oblivion for just a little bit. The problem I had with those two games is that they didn't really give you any direction of what you need to do. Like, if you played it and then left it alone for maybe a week or so, you'd come back, you'd have no idea what you were doing anymore. At least when I've gone through Skyrim Incomplete, and at least they give you somewhat of an idea of where you've been. At least they still give you markers so you know where you need to be again, so you don't have to refamiliarize yourself with it. But I think the fact that they're going and they're literally opening the entire area of Tamriel for everybody, like, that is probably the smartest thing they could be doing at this point, because they can only do so many more options. And I mean, the fact that there are certain places like Black Marsh and Vale and Wood that people haven't gotten to see yet, and instead of having to wait for Elder Scrolls 7 or whatever when they get to that part of the game, they don't have to wait anymore. It's going straight into everything. You get a chance to do it before all the other games happen, because it's at least 1,000 years before Skyrim, I think it was supposed to be.
Yes, yeah, 1,000 years before.
So, I mean, you give that to somebody, and especially for fans of the Elder Scrolls series, and even for newer players that, you know, haven't touched it before, but are still sort of into the MMO genres, at least it gives them some sort of an in-look into it. And that's probably really the best option they could be going with at this point.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, what was I going to say? Sorry. The Elder Scrolls games, like, for the same reasons you guys dislike them, I mean, like, that whole overarching, you have, like, this massive world to go out and do stuff in, and, like, you can go out and do all these different quests. I mean, a lot of people don't get that aspect. I'm with you guys on that I don't as well, but I know a lot of people that actually, you know, that's the reason why they love Skyrim, that's the reason why they love Oblivion and Morrowind and the other games, that they have this whole open world game that they can do really anything in. Now, I'm probably the worst RPG player, or I'm probably the worst gamer at Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls games, just because I go in there, I do a number of different quests, and then I get bored and I start murdering people. Just going into cabins, just murdering people in their sleep.
Bruce Road dying.
Yep, Bruce Road dying, just, you know, entire villages, just people just flying everywhere, chaos, you know, everything, cats and dogs raining, yeah, just craziness. But as an online game, if they stick to the same kind of game mechanics that the Elder Scrolls has had, you know, the first person, you know, it's a really, you feel connected to your character when they swing a sword, when they do the voice shouts, when they hold up a shield and they're, you know, getting hit by people or, you know, using magic. If they keep those aspects in this kind of MMO, I think it's going to be a fantastic game, because every MMO I've played, there's always that disconnect between the player, the character, and then the actual interactions around the world. Take World of Warcraft, or even I'm going to throw another one out, say City of Heroes, where you just have like all these skills that are preset for all the stuff to do, and then once you do them, there's like a lag, there's a build-up time, and then it just feels really disconnected. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. But if they were to keep all the aspects that they have in Skyrim, I think it's going to be a very, very fun MMO, and I think a lot of people will get on top of it.
Well, on top of that, to be honest with you, when you say they're keeping all the aspects, it is an MMO. and you're talking about lag, they're not going to fit all the stuff they did in Skyrim, for example, into the MMO for exactly that reason that you get lag, you get, if you have like a marketplace, there's going to be a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening in that sense, right? So it's interesting because they can accomplish a whole lot by keeping it single player, but at the same breath, they can accomplish a whole lot by keeping an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be coming down to the balance of it. They got to keep some things, but they got to get rid of some things.
Mm-hmm.
They've already commented on two things at least that we know of. They won't be having fights in real time, so it's going to be the same old, you click and you wait for things to go, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And apparently it is going to be in third person, so unfortunately the whole first person thing that a lot of people like about Elder Scrolls is probably not going to be there. So unfortunately, just like Ams has said, it's hard to integrate such really complex things, and first person doesn't sound like much, but for an MMO with that much going on in the background and all these users, you're asking to take, that would take a huge toll on any system, even like the best PC.
That's true. There is a certain back-end quality to this that would be massive for, I think it's ZeniMax Studios that's taking care of it, which as well as Bethesda.
Same guys that made of Dark Age Camelot, actually.
There you go. Well, here's another thing, though. This is a fantasy game competing against, World of Warcraft certainly isn't what it was before, but do you think that this will be the next big MMORPG? Because this certainly does have the following for it to have that kind of, those subscription numbers, if they go that route.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see that, because, it's already a refreshing change to have BioWare with Old Republic come out, and now with Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft might actually have to get off their butts and really try to get things going again, because, with how many lacks of expansions they're getting to now, they're going to be forced to really ramp up something.
Yeah. Well, I think I've heard rumors about Blizzard getting doing something else with another MMO or another third game or new IP that they want to do. But Mists of Pandaria, has that come out yet?
No, not yet.
Okay,
not yet.
But even
then, it's like, if you look at it, like Adam said, that they need to do something drastic. But they come out with Mists of Pandaria. You got pandas. Whoop-de-doo.
Panda.
Exactly. As a gamer, I will look at it and go, nah, I'm okay, thanks. I'm more likely to pick up Star Wars than World of Warcraft now, to be very honest with you.
True.
Yeah, but you can't think the changes are any more random when Star Wars Connect has dancing in it.
Exactly.
Solo. Oh, God.
So, final verdict on Elder Scrolls Online. Cool concept, but they're sacrificing a lot for quality.
Yeah.
That's the sad case with any MMO. When you really think of what Old Republic could have been, considering how we played Knights of the Old Republic and how awesome those games were, the fact of the matter is, no matter what you put in anything, the second you put online capability into it, you're going to have to stagger some of it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. It's going to be a watered-down Elder Scrolls experience, but you know what? For ZeniMax, this could be exactly what they want to break in new customers for the Elder Scrolls series when they do eventually release the next one. In my opinion, yeah, I will try to play it for 30 days, 60 days, however long. If it does suck me in, then I may, just play it all the time. But in my opinion, I think the best MMORPG out there is EVE Online. So hate me if you will, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Elder
Requires
Scrolls.
the utmost of patience.
Yes, utmost. I've been playing it for many years. Elder Scrolls Online is scheduled to come out sometime in 2013 for either PC or both PC and Macintosh. So keep an eye out for that, and it will be in this next month's Game Informer. All right, next on the docket that we have, Xbox is basically has gone out to different service providers like Rogers or AT&T in the States and have offered a new kind of plan with you get a free 360 with Kinect. With the Rogers one, it's if you activate 2 smartphone plans, which is, I guess, a little bit more. But with an AT&T sake, I think you just sign up for it. I think it's about $100. And you get this Xbox 360, but you do have to pay as you go. The terms of the agreement, I think, are about $30 a month. But you get all the stuff. I think you get an Xbox Live account for 2 years as well. And you just get the console with Kinect. What do you guys think of this?
It's interesting. It's interesting because it seems like it's a smart move on their point, as in, families that are constantly looking to upgrade, for example, their cell phones or their internet plan. It's smart on Microsoft that they're sneaking their console in. Technically, this is the way I see it. They're sneaking the consoles into households. It's like, oh, cool, you get it free. So it's like, okay, now I have an Xbox. Why do I need to get a PS3?
Yeah, that is true. But the thing is, we have to realize that the Xbox is a 10-year-old console now. I mean, does that play into effect?
Well, that's what I was getting to, is that they're trying to make it more popular, so maybe that they're trying to push their units out now. Because if they're giving them free good plans, they might be like, oh yeah, I remember this Xbox, and then when they have their units out, boom, the next Xbox generation is in.
Because, I mean, we also have to figure that either this year or next year they are going to announce the 720. Whether they've said that they won't this year or not, it's sooner or later, it's coming. It's going to be coming. It has to. As you said, the console is just so old now, and it's going to need some sort of an upgrade. It may not be too much. It's probably going to be more in terms of space and the speed and how much extra features or whatever it's going to offer. Maybe an even better Kinect system, because we all know how great it works these days. But.
Yep. Well, I agree with you guys. It's the thing is, like, I've got one of the first generation Xboxes. I've got the white Xbox. It's a big thing. It makes really loud fan noises. It probably needs to be cleaned out. It hasn't red ringed yet. But even still, like, I've had this console for such a long time. You know what I think, like, Xbox or Microsoft is trying to do is basically they're trying to get these boxes into people's homes that are buying these couple plans or just in AT&T's sake, buying an Xbox outright, because it does so many other things other than playing games. It's to boot a DVD player, but it can also stream Netflix, as well as do multiple other things.
The amount of apps they have on it now, like,
oh yeah, it's crazy.
UFC is on there, MLB TV, I think Daily Motion, YouTube, Facebook, like everything is coming on there.
Yeah, it's much more than just a gaming box now, and that might be the angle that they're trying to play at, is that this is a media box. We can definitely make different avenues of income through basically downloads through Zune Marketplace as well as the Netflix application.
And now that I think of the irony, they have Rogers on Demand of it too.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and O2 in the UK, as well as a number of different providers in the States on Xbox. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense from that angle, but for a gaming standpoint, it's nice that you only have to pay $100 for a console, and then you just buy, like, you could buy these $60 games for the same price as a regular Xbox. You get like 2 or 3 really high-end games, but I think this is definitely more for the casual consumer as opposed to the hardcore gamer.
Well, I mean, even Microsoft is trying to go their own route, too, because, I mean, not everybody's going to go to Rogers. There is a whole thing that got announced a few days back that they are planning on releasing their own package. You would pay $99 plus a fee for $15 a month for 2 years. So you'd be paying about $450 by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all. I think it's definitely going to be something that people will buy into, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens at E3, because Nintendo dropped the gauntlet down with the Wii U last year. That's coming out this year, and we'll basically see what happens in terms of who's going to release the next console, because, I mean, Microsoft does have the oldest, rig on the block, so we will see what goes on with that. I feel sorry for anyone that does buy into the marketplace right now, as opposed to going with either a PS3 or something else. But anyways, you can check out, if you're in the States, AT&T is offering the Xbox, I believe, on a contract basis. Here in Canada, Rogers is the place to go to get a free Xbox if you basically get 2 smartphone activations. And I'm not too sure about Europe. So, anyways, moving on. Our last story of the day will be PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. That is a mouthful.
Cough, cough, Sony Super Smash Brothers.
In a sense, it's pretty much that. Your favorite Sony Sony avatars like Kratos, or the guys from Little Big Planet, God of War, or sorry, what is that shooting franchise? I don't know. It wasn't
Killzone.
Yeah. There you go. Basically duking it out in an arena style match, exactly like Super Smash Bros. Melee or Brawl or Super Smash Bros.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Guys, how about this? Let's describe the idea of the PlayStation exclusive. If you had to pick 4 gaming icons on your side on like a fight team, who would it be? Brian, go.
Let's see. My 4, basically 4 characters I would like to see in the All-Stars Battle Royale would probably be Solid Snake, Nathan Drake, the King of the Cosmos from Katamari Damacy, and Auron from Final Fantasy X.
That would be awesome, Katamari Damacy.
No, I didn't say specifically Sony exclusive. I meant like, say, Microsoft or like Nintendo even.
Oh,
if top 4, any of them, you could be like Mario.
You can always go that route. I mean, really, with Sony, you can go to guys like, Cole from Infamous or Ratchet, but you can even go off the board, say Naruto from Heavenly Sword when it first came out, or even the Prinnies from Disgaea, because you need those little small furry characters like a Pikachu in a game. If you want to go to Microsoft, I mean, of course you're going to go Master Chief. I mean, really, there's no else you can go.
Well, you could also go Frank West from Dead Rising, Assassin's Creed's Altair.
Or Ezio. Actually, then again, Ezio's been a fighter whore lately, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what's with Assassin's Creed being and everything? I mean, Ezio was in the Soul Calibur 5 game. The costume is available in the Final Fantasy 13 too, just like the Mass Effect N7 armor is, which looks stupid, by the way.
Well, like, for some reason, Ubisoft has gotten themselves into all these different pots, because Altair's costume was available in... Metal Gear, actually. In Metal Gear Solid 4, you can get the Altair costume.
Really?
If you,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can. You have to do some kind of different sneaking style or something like that, or certain things, but it's an achievement that you get, and you get the Altair costume.
Hide in the hay bales.
Yes, hide in hay bales. And jump off really tall buildings into hay bales and still survive. But yeah.
So, okay, Adam, top 4. Let's go.
Well, if you want to go overall, I mean, you'd have to go Master Chief for sure. I mean, you'd have Mario in there, you'd have Link, and I think probably Solid Snake out of those 4, really, if you want to go for all 3 consoles. I mean, those are really like the 4 big series. You have your Halo, which is the biggest thing on Microsoft. You have Metal Gear Solid, which is the biggest thing on Sony. And I mean, Nintendo still owns the big franchises, and Mario and Zelda are the 2 biggest. So
well,
I mean,
hang on.
Yeah, no question.
We are still forgetting one of the major facets of video game stuff, and that's PC market. So, like, J.C. Denton from Deus Ex, any of the really big-name characters from World of Warcraft, Gordon Freeman from Half-Life.
Crowbar for the win.
Crowbar for the win. It's just crowbars and instant KO.
Personally, my top 4 guys, Master Chief from the Halo series, Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat series, Kratos from, the God of War series from Sony, last but not least, the Big Daddy, because you need a big guy in there, too, who can just throw heavy punches. A Big Daddy in there. I think that'd be a sweet team, and they could take out Reapers like Commander Shepard can only dream about.
Well, Commander Shepard could get a drill. I'm sure they could build him one.
I'm sure they could, yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? But, I think those would be a pretty good lineup anyways. I mean, Sony exclusives, it's a bit harder to get Sony exclusive characters, just because they're really, when you put your mind to it, there's not that many games that you can think of in the current generation. If you go back...
Especially like big names like a Mario or a Zelda.
Yeah, if you go back, I mean, obviously Crash Bandicoot would be one of the people that you would add. Spyro the Dragon. Maybe a couple others. But, I mean, I wasn't really a big PlayStation person when I was younger, so I don't really know those big franchises.
Because, I mean, the guys they do have right now, they've announced 6. They've announced Kratos, Sly Cooper, I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, Mail Redek or something from Killzone, Sweet Tooth the Clown from Twisted Metal, Fat Princess from Fat Princess, and Parappa the Rapper. Like, really, if that doesn't tell you how, like, very, very small material they have to work with, is Parappa the Rapper being in this.
I'm more surprised that the Fat Princess is in this, to be honest, because that's a PSN download exclusive, right?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're going to take something off the PlayStation Portable series, too. I mean...
True. But again, we haven't seen the entire roster. I mean, this is a way for the people to build up buzz. I mean, there's, 6 characters right now. There will be more. I'm gonna guess, like, if I had to say, there might be about, 15 or 20 characters in total.
I mean, we can assume that Ratchet will be in there, like Jack from Jack and Daxter.
Yes.
Probably Sackboy, because, I mean, really, you can't go do anything but thinking about Sackboy without Sony now, so.
It's just the thing that Wave sticks at with the stuff.
And, I mean, really, like, what's the biggest series right now other than God of War? Uncharted, so you have to think Nathan Drake will be there, too.
Absolutely, Nathan Drake.
Their infamous series as well, right? What's his face? Cole, I think the guy's name is.
Cole,
yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's a lot of options. It's just strange where they've gone with so far.
Yeah, true. Well, All-Star Battle Royale is supposed to be due out Q3 or Q4 of this year. So we might see it around holiday season, I'm going to guess. It's supposed to be single player, online, multiplayer, cooperative, or competitive, and obviously a Sony PlayStation 3 exclusive. So check it out then. But anyways, I think this is it for us tonight. Today, whatever time it is for you, anyways. I'm Brian Best. You can follow me on Twitter at Brian Best, BrianBest. And you guys fight for whoever's next.
Ha! Adam Gaden here. You can follow me also on my name on Twitter, Adam Gaden, ADAMGAETAN. So thanks for watching, guys, or thanks for listening.
Yes.
Video overrated.
Hey! Don't forget me! You can follow me on Twitter at AmsalK, which is AMSALK on Twitter. Follow my random shenanigans, as Brian knows best.
You do have some random shenanigans. Anyways, guys, we hope to be back next week with more video game and stuff, crazy news. We'll be talking about E3 eventually and all the fun times that you can have there. But thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
You stay classy, Internet.